Good morning, guys. I think in the last session we were discussing about the chemical properties of the alkali metals. Under that, we have completed all the chemical properties of alkali metals, and today's class we will see the nature of compounds of alkali metals. We will discuss about the nature of compounds of alkali metals. The last class we have seen the nature of reaction with various compounds. In this class we will see the nature of their compounds. Now, we generally know that alkali metals are being highly electropositive. Generally, compounds of alkali metal are ionic in nature, with the exception of, what is the exception we have? Except lithium compounds. Generally, compounds of lithium are covalent in nature. What is the reason? Because lithium is a very small cation and which is having high polarizing. Because of the high polarizing power, the covalent nature in the compounds of lithium will be more. Because of that reason they are covalent in nature. Right? We will see the nature of different compounds of alkali metals. First of all, we will discuss about the nature of oxides and hydroxides. Nature of oxides and hydroxides of alkali metals. Right. As we have already discussed the formation of oxides and hydroxides, we will briefly see their nature. Generally, we know that alkali metals are vigorously burned in oxygen. To some extent, lithium will be some extent of less reactive, and all of them will vigorously react with oxygen and atmospheric air to form the corresponding oxides. We know that. Generally, remember that lithium do not react below 0 degrees Celsius, and remaining metals can react even below 0 degrees centigrade. And lithium forms, as from our earlier discussion, we know that lithium forms only monoxide. What is the monoxide? Like 2. Whereas sodium forms monoxide as well as and peroxide, depending upon the availability of oxygen. If oxygen is less available, it will form monoxide. Oxygen is more abundant, it will form. The general representation of sodium monoxide is Na2O, and whereas sodium peroxide is Na2O2. Other metals in the sense that is potassium, rubidium, cesium. Other metals of alkali metals will form superoxides. That means they can all be capable of forming monoxide, peroxide as well as superoxide. What is the general way of representation of superoxide? This is the general way of representation of superoxide. We have also discussed the reason for this. Where N stands for what it is? Potassium, rubidium and cesium. Now, generally what is the reason for this variation in the formation of oxides? If you observe from top to down in the group, the size of the cation increases. So, a smaller cation generally stabilizes a smaller anion, and a larger cation stabilizes a larger anion. Because of that reason, down the what happens? Stability of peroxides and superoxides increases, and you can see stability of monoxides decreases. This is an important property regarding alkali metal oxides. And if you are talking about their nature, they are ionic in nature, generally crystalline solids. Oxides and peroxides. Oxides and peroxides are colorless in pure state. In the pure form, oxides and peroxides are colorless. But if you are talking about the superoxides are generally either orange or yellow in color. And superoxides are paramagnetic in nature. This is an important property of the superoxide. Oxides and peroxides are colorless as well as diamagnetic, but superoxides are generally colored in nature. What is the nature of the color? They can be either orange or yellow, and moreover they are paramagnetic in nature. What is the reason for the exhibition of color as well as paramagnetic in nature? Due to the presence of unpaired electron. Due to the presence of unpaired electron, superoxide, this is a very important point to be remembered, that superoxides are generally colored in nature and they are paramagnetic in nature because of the presence of unpaired electron. Now, these oxides, peroxides and superoxides, oxides, peroxides and superoxides of alkali metal are highly hydrolyzed, are readily undergo hydrolysis. This means by hydrolysis, suppose if you are treating this monoxide, this is alkali metal monoxide, where M stands for either lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium or cesium. If you are treating this with water, the process will be called as hydrolysis. And generally what happens, it will form 2 moles of any OH. What it is forming? Readily hydrolyzed to form what they form? To form hydroxides. Corresponding hydroxides there. Suppose if you are talking about lithium oxide. Lithium oxide and hydrolysis, what it will form? It will form lithium. Lithium oxide and hydrolysis form lithium hydroxide. Now, if you are talking about the here M can be what it is? It can be lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium or cesium. Now, generally, peroxides on hydrolysis forms hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide. What it will form? Hydroxide as well as hydrogen peroxide. For example, if you are talking about the general representation of alkali metal peroxides or M2O2 on hydrolysis, it will form corresponding metal hydroxide plus hydrogen peroxide will form. Right? If you want to balance the reaction now, take 2 moles of water and 2 moles of metal hydroxide will be formed. This is a very just try to remember the general pattern of hydrolysis of monoxides as well as superoxides. This is a general way of hydrolysis of peroxides. Suppose if you are talking about the sodium peroxide on reaction with water molecule, it will form 2 moles of sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen peroxide. Right? If you are talking about the superoxides on hydrolysis forms corresponding hydroxides and peroxides with the liberation of oxygen gas. Suppose if you take the general representation of this MO2 superoxide, if it is treated with water, it will be converted corresponding metal hydroxide plus hydrogen peroxide plus oxygen. If you want to balance this equation, take 2 moles of metal superoxide as well as 2 moles of water, and it will be balanced. Right? Now, this is very important. The hydrolysis pattern of monoxides, peroxides and superoxides is very important. For example, if you are talking about potassium superoxide, it is on hydrolysis. It forms 2 moles of potassium hydroxide plus hydrogen peroxide plus oxygen it will liberate. This is the general pattern of hydrolysis of oxides of alkali metals. And generally, these metal oxides are basic in nature as they are forming hydroxides, and basic strength decreases down the road. If you are talking about the decreasing order of the basic strength of these oxides, lithium oxide is less basic than sodium oxide, followed by potassium oxide, as well as rubidium oxide, followed by cesium oxide. And if you are talking about the basicity of this, hydroxides of alkali metals are strongly basic. Hydroxides of alkali metal are strongly basic. strongly basic, and their basic nature increases down the what is mean by this? If you are talking about, if you are comparing the basicity of lithium hydroxide, which is less than sodium hydroxide, followed by potassium hydroxide, followed by ruthenium hydroxide, followed by cesium hydroxide. So what we can conclude? Basicity of the hydroxides of alkali metal increases down the road. Right? This is also an important point. Another important aspect is that generally this lithium hydroxide is thermally less stable, so that on heating it readily decomposes. Let me write here somewhere. 2 moles of lithium hydroxide on heating, it will be converted into lithium oxide plus water. Generally, what we can say, thermal stability. Thermal stability in the sense, the temperature, well, thermal stability is expressed in terms of their decomposition temperature. Higher the decomposition temperature, higher will be the thermal stability. So, if you are talking about the thermal stability of these alkali metal hydroxides, down the road what happens? Thermal stability of alkali metal hydroxides increases. This is about the nature of alkali metal oxides as well as hydroxides. Hope it is clear, right? If you want to make a notes of it, you can take a screenshot with it. I will clear the board for the next discussion. Hope that was clear, and next we will discuss about the nature of halides of alkali metals. Generally, we know that halides of alkali metals are generally directly prepared from the reaction of alkali metal with halogens, and the order of reactivity of halogens generally decreases from fluorine to chlorine to bromine, and bromine to iodine. This has already been discussed. They can also be prepared from various other patterns, such as by treating alkali metal oxides with halogen acids. What it will form? It forms corresponding halogen metal oxides. And here also you can also prepare from the metal hydroxides on reaction with halogen acids. Here also it will form corresponding metal oxide. Right? Now, here also they can be prepared from carbonates. Here it will form 2 moles of metal halide plus 1 mole of water plus 1 mole of carbon dioxide. And very important thing is that the alkali metal halides have highly negative enthalpy of their enthalpy of formation is highly negative. Another important aspect is that generally enthalpy of formation is represented with delta FH. Delta FH represents the enthalpy of formation. How much heat is being released during the formation of an halide. Generally, all of them are having negative sign. Negative sign in the sense, here if you are talking about the delta H of this particular reaction, delta H of this particular reaction is negative. What is meant by negative sign? Here energy will be released. These are exothermic reactions. Highly negative in the sense, generally large amount of energy will be released. Now, if you are talking about the delta enthalpy of formation of fluorides, right? Fluorides becomes less negative down the road. That means what? Enthalpy of formation of fluoride decreases down the road. And if you are talking about the enthalpy of formation of chlorides, bromides and iodides will becomes more negative down the road. This is also important point. What happens? Down the road what happens? Enthalpy of formation of alkali metal fluorides becomes less negative. That means they release less amount of energy as we move down the road. In case of other halides, chlorides, bromides, iodine, enthalpy of formation of alkali metal halides will become more negative. They become more exothermic in nature. Right? Now, if you are talking about the nature, alkali metal halides are generally ionic in nature, except for lithium halides, which are covalent in nature, and they are colorless crystalline solids having high melting and boiling point. If you are talking about their general decreasing order of melting point, if you are talking about the decreasing order of melting point of various alkali metal halides, metal fluorides are having highest melting point for a given alkali metal. For a given alkali metal, if you are talking about the melting point, it follows the order of fluorides, bromides, and iodides. For a given, suppose if you are talking about the sodium fluoride will be having highest melting point, then sodium chloride, which is having greater melting point than sodium bromide, and this is having sodium iodide. This is the general pattern of their order, and these are highly soluble in water. Right? Solubility increases down the route. And remember that lithium fluoride is less soluble in water. You need to remember the reason, due to high lattice energy. What is the reason? High lattice energy. And cesium iodide also less soluble in water due to low heat of hydration. This is less soluble due to the low heat of hydration, and this is less soluble due to the high lattice energy. Right? This is about the nature. One more important thing is that lithium chloride is deliquescent in nature. What is meant by deliquescent? It has a tendency of absorbing water, and highly hydrated halide. It generally exists in the form of lithium chloride 2 hydrate. It absorbs, it retains 2 moles of water molecule in the form of crystallization. This is about the nature of halides of alkali metal. Hope this is clear. If you are talking about we've already discussed about the nature of hydrates in the discussion of their chemical properties only. Because of that reason, I am not discussing them again. And we will discuss about the nature of oxysalts of alkali metal. First of all, you need to understand what is meant by oxysalts. Remember one thing: alkali metals are highly electropositive in nature. Because of their high electropositive nature, their hydroxides are strongly basic. Because of strong basic nature of hydroxides of alkali metals, they can form salts with all type of oxyacids as well as hydroacids. What is a alkali metals forms salts with oxyacids and hydroacids. Hope you know the difference between hydroacids and oxyacids. Acids in which hydrogen is directly attached to oxygen are called as oxyacids. Acids in which hydrogen is not directly attached to oxygen, any other non-metal other than oxygen will be called as hydroacid. For example, we can take here H2CO3 can be given as an example of carbonic acid, nitric acid, phosphoric acid, sulfuric acid, etc. can be counted as oxyacids. And if you are talking about HCl, HBr, these are called as hydroacids. Correct? So they can form, because of their strong electropositive nature, their hydroxides are strongly basic. Because of the strong basic nature, they form the salts with both oxyacids as well as hydroacids. Now, first of all, we will discuss the nature of nature of carbonates, nature of carbonates and bicarbonates, carbonates of alkali metal. Alkali metals on reaction, alkali metals on reaction with carbonic acid. What is this called? Carbonic acid. Form two types of salts. One will be the general form of M2CO3. This is called as carbonates, alkali metal carbonates, and it will be called MHCO3. This is called as bicarbonate, or they are also called as hydrogen carbonate. Hydrogen carbonate. Now let us see their nature. Generally, alkali metal carbonates, whose general representation will be M2CO3, are thermally highly stable up to a temperature of 273 Kelvin. Temperature above 273, they generally slowly start melting and afterwards decomposes into metal oxide and carbon dioxide. And if you are talking about the trend in the thermal stability, what is meant by this? Suppose if you are heating up to 1273 Kelvin, they will be stable, they don't undergo decomposition. Temperature greater than 1273 Kelvin, what happens? They slowly melt first. After melting, what happens? They decompose into metal oxide plus carbon dioxide. The thermal stability of alkali metal carbonates increases down the road. You will, while dealing with the competitive examinations, especially in objective questions, probability of getting questions from these thermal stabilities, solubilities, right, are very much high. So because of that, you need to remember the pattern of how the thermal stability varies down the road. Now, what is meant by this? Lithium carbonate is less stable than sodium carbonate, which is less stable than lithium carbonate is less stable than sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate is less stable than potassium carbonate. Potassium carbonate is less stable than rubidium carbonate, which is less stable than the cesium carbonate. Because of the low thermal stability, at low temperature itself, even below 1273 Kelvin only, what happens? Lithium will readily decompose into lithium oxide plus carbon dioxide. And if you are talking about the solubility, they are soluble in water, and solubility what happens? Increases down the road. Solubility also increases down the road. Right? Now, aqueous solution of alkali metal carbonates is basic in nature due to hydrolysis of carbonate ion. Carbonate ion undergoes hydrolysis. Generally, if you are talking about the when you are dropping these metal carbonates into water, what happens? They generally exist in the form of carbonate ion and reaction with water. This is what it will express. Then what is the general formula of metal carbonate? M2CO3. How it generally exists? It exists in the form of 2M plus CO3 minus 2. This is a carbonate and this will undergo hydrolysis. Here it is on hydrolysis, it will form carbonic acid plus 2 moles of hydroxide. So what are remaining in the solution? The net ions available in the solution are OH minus. So because of the presence of OH minus, the nature of aqueous solution of alkali metal carbonate is, what is this? Basic. Their aqueous solutions are basic in nature. This is about the nature of carbonates of alkali metals, and we will see the nature of bicarbonates or hydrogen carbonates of alkali metals. Right? If you are talking about the bicarbonates, alkali metals forms solid bicarbonates, except lithium. What is mean by this? That is, lithium bicarbonate does not exist in solid state. It only exists in liquid state or in aqueous state. This is an important point. And if we are talking about their thermal stability, what is meant by thermal stability? The decomposition temperature increases, thermal stability increases down the road. What we can say? That means lithium hydrogen carbonate is less stable than sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is less stable than potassium hydrogen carbonate, which is less stable than rubidium hydrogen carbonate, which is less stable than cesium hydrogen carbonate. Right? And another important property of this bicarbonates is that if you heat, on heating, they gets converted into carbonates. That is, suppose if you are taking, and if you are, let us take 2 moles of metal hydrogen carbonate, it will be converted into metal carbonate plus water plus carbon dioxide. Right? And aqueous solution of metal hydrogen, alkali metal hydrogen carbonates is alkaline in nature, that is basic in nature. Due to, what is the reason? Due to hydrolysis of, what is this? Hydrolysis of bicarbonate. Due to the hydrolysis of bicarbonate. Whenever you are dropping this alkali metal hydrogen carbonates into the water, bicarbonate generally undergo hydrolysis to form carbonic acid plus OH minus. Since in the solution what are available? OH minus. So what will be the nature of aqueous solution? Basic in nature. This is about the nature of metal carbonates of carbonates as well as bicarbonates of alkali metal. Hope this clear. Now we will see the nature of nitrates. Nature of nitrates of alkali metals. Alkali metals forms nitrates of MnO3 type. They will form nitrates whose general formula will be MnO3, where M stands for lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Right? And these are colorless, crystalline solids, soluble in water, right? And generally do not undergo hydrolysis except lithium nitrate will undergo hydrolysis, right? And important property is that on heating metal nitrates decomposes to metal nitrides. Nitrate will decompose into nitrite and oxygen. Suppose if you are taking you heat them, where M stands sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. It will be converted into MnO2 plus O2. If you want to make a balance equation, it will be 2 2 moles and if you take 2 moles. But important exception is that it lies with the, whereas lithium nitrate, this is we call nitrates, alkali metal nitrates, and this is we call nitrite. Nitrates on lithium will be converted into nitrites. But if you are talking about the lithium nitrate, instead of converting into lithium nitrate, it will be converted into lithium oxide plus NO2 plus O. This is an important exceptional reaction of lithium. Here if you want to have a balanced equation, take this to 4 moles, this will become 2 and this will become 4. Here it is not producing nitrite, it is producing lithium oxide and nitrogen dioxide oxygen gas. This is the anomalous property of lithium. And if you are talking about the nature of sulfates, generally alkali earth metal forms sulfates of M2SO4. These are also ionic in nature, colorless crystalline solids. And generally, what happens? These sulfates on reaction with carbon, they will form metal sulfides. They will form. This is called alkali metal sulfide. This is sulfate. And important property is that except lithium, other alkali metals sulfates, forms double salts. Hope you know what is meant by double salt as we have completed the coordination compound. Right? Now, for example, you can take K2SO4, Al2SO4 taken thrice, 24H2. This is we call potash ion. What we call as potash ion. Lithium cannot form such type of double salts. Others can form such type of salts. As this potassium we call it as potash ion. Right? This is about the nature of different compounds of alkali earth metals. Hope it is clear. And last is the nature of perchlorates. What is meant by perchlorates? They form perchlorates of type MClO4. Generally we call it HClO4 is called as perchloric acid. If you replace this hydrogen with alkali metal, the resultant compound will be called as alkali metal perchlorate. Right? So here they will form perchlorates of MCl4. These are also ionic, crystalline in nature, and the thermal stability of perchlorates increases down the road. What is meant by that? Lithium perchlorate is less stable than sodium perchlorate, which is less stable than potassium perchlorate, which is less stable than rubidium perchlorate, which is less stable than CC. An important thing is that solubility of perchlorates decreases from lithium perchlorate to cesium perchlorate. This is about the nature of perchlorates. Hope it is clear.